Welcome, welcome. We're going to be doing project number 3 in the Pretty Pumpkins class. And you know that you can always check out my website, www.carolbcrafts.com, to see what current class kit I'm offering as a customer reward. It'll have the host code and a link to shop with me, and just make your qualifying purchase using my host code and you will get a free class kit from me. So this was Pretty Pumpkins. The current class kit is Whimsical Trees. And so here's your kits. Grab this one here. Now, this is kind of a monochromatic card. Monochromatic means there's several variations of a similar card, and I'm wondering, I guess this goes with the next one. Okay, or maybe did I take, I don't know. I guess we'll find out where that goes to. So here's your kit, and then I will give you your dimensions so that if you don't have the kit, you can make it with us, or if you want to make something similar, you can. So gather together. If friends were pumpkins, I'd pick you. And we're going to be using crushed curry, just a pretty color, which I don't have here, so let me grab it. Oh, I did. I did have it. I just looked at the wrong stack. I've got a couple of stacks of pads here. All right, we got crushed curry, and that's the color we're going to make this and this. So let's see what we've got going on. So 8.5 by 5.5 thick basic white. So we're going to piece that fold, and I've been mixing it up, you know, not always doing stamping first. So we have a couple of pieces of Bumblebee. This is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. It's going to go on the front. Now we don't have any ribbons, so 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, my usual, because you know I like to do that. And then we have a piece of So Saffron 4 by 5 1/4. Gonna go on front of that. So Saffron. So yeah, these are variations of a color theme here. Monochromatic. Okay, and then we have a piece of DSP from the Harvest Meadow collection of DSP. Pretty, very pretty for fallish cards. And then on the inside we have a piece of 4 by 5 1/4 Bumblebee. And I'm not sure why I use crushed curry ink and Bumblebee cardstock. I think that's Bumblebee. Let me get a piece of crushed curry. Yeah, that's Bumblebee. They're so close that you cannot tell the difference. But I used crushed curry ink and Bumblebee paper, which kind of weird, but they're very similar. So inside we're going to have a 3 3/4 by 5 piece of white cardstock that we're going to stamp on. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Then we have a piece of 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 that we're going to stamp a pumpkin on right here. And then in your envelope you should have, oh, that's the wrong envelope. That's from last class. You should have some labels, 2 white labels. Now these 2 white labels come from, let me grab it, Tasteful Labels dies. Now this is another set, another go-to set for me to grab some kind of label for a sentiment. And so this is the one I'm using right here. I would take it out, but I just did my nails and I don't want to ruin them any more than I probably will. And then this gorgeous little label here with Bumblebee comes from the Hippo and Friends dies, and it's this big label here. This is another go-to set for me for labels. And then lastly, the set here that this goes behind this label here. This is from the Lovely Labels Punch, and it started out at 1 inch by 3.5. And this is So Saffron. I'm sorry, this is So Saffron. It matches this part here. So 1 inch by 3.5 inch So Saffron, and I punched it with the Lovely Labels Punch. So that's where I got that. And then we got a piece, 2 pieces, Bumblebee and So Saffron, that are 1 inch by 4.25. 1 inch by 4.25. So Saffron and Bumblebee for the leaves right here. All right, so I'm going to put my thread back in here and probably my labels too, except for, oh, and then there's 2 little gems. We'll get to those in a minute. Just do our stamping next. So this will be for die cutting. So get your stamp apparatus out and we'll do some stamping. You're going to need your little piece of extra paper that is just scrap paper that I put a little bit of seal on to make that stick. And then you're also going to need your, let me get in camera here. I'm running out of room on my desk. Let me also tape down this thing here. It's not taped over there. Your 4x6 plastic. 4x6 plastic. So let's do our label first. You only need 1. I give you 2. It's supposed to say Gather Together. So we'll get our stamps, Gather Together. Beautiful font here. Beautiful, beautiful font. Here it is. Gather Together. The bottom left corner there. Ink that up with crushed curry. Okay, so here we go. Crushed curry, and then I'm gonna put that on there where the sticky is and line that up. This is reminiscent of the old, what did we call that? I can't remember that now. Now that any other time it would be on the tip of my tongue. Let's see. Stamp-a-ma-jig. Remember the Stamp-a-ma-jig? This is very similar to the Stamp-a-ma-jig idea. Well, I'll give that another little pump since I can. That's why I like my stamp apparatus, because that's the front and you want it to look nice. It looks a little brown right now, but it'll look more yellow once it dries. So let's clean that off. I'm going to use my Honest Wipes. Okay. And get it nice and clean. And then I'm going to dry it off. With my microfiber cloth. Okay, so that's that. Now, what next? We want to do, let's do the pumpkin next. This is such a pretty pumpkin. It's such a pretty pumpkin now. So we're going to get our 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Doesn't have to be this big, but it and we will be die cutting that, so you want to make sure you leave plenty of room to die cut. And ink that up really well because it's got a lot of detail to it. Give it some time to soak in. And yeah, I think I did this a couple of times for sure, if not more. Make sure you get the center really good because that's where all the detail is. And just one more time, you know me. Okay, that's going to be so pretty. And like I said, it looks kind of brown now, but it's going to change. I hope. All right, so the inside, well, let me clean that off. Where's my wiper? Here we go. Clean that off. And I remember I didn't clean off my plastic from the gather together, so I'll have to do that too. Grab that plastic and clean it off. Okay. And dab that. Okay. It's got a lot of pretty detail, doesn't it? So I'm going to get in there really good, dry that off. Awesome. Now the next inside we're going to do, I think it goes this way. If friends were pumpkins, I'd pick you, which is awesome, cute little thing. If friends were pumpkins, I'd pick you, plus these 2 little like flowery looking things, vine and flower things, these things right here. leaf and flower and vines. So we will need our plastic again. And it's already starting to look yellow. That's good. We need our 3 3/4 by 5 piece of basic white. So this is going to go up at the top and then these down here at the bottom. So if friends were pumpkin, I'd pick you. Here we go. That's going to go in the top right corner. Perfect. Now, ink that up. And another shot. And clean that off. Clean off my plastic. Dry this off. So now this is going to go down here. So I want to put my plastic towards the bottom, and when I do that, I use this bottom line here to line up my plastic. And I know that, let's see, I'm going to want to have the bigger one down at the bottom, and then I'm going to want to have this one like this, and I'm doing it this way so I don't have to do them twice. I don't know, is that wise? Is that wise? No, I better do them separately because I'll confuse myself. I'm easily confused. And I also want to make sure that there's going to be plenty of room to do this and have my paper flat, sitting flat. So I better put it further down like that. All right, here we go. Ink up the larger one. Slide that under. It's going to go here. I'm just going to have to kind of guess and make sure I have room for the other one. Okay, and then clean that stamp off. I have a little dish that I throw my wiper in, just so you know. I'm not just throwing it over here on my table. I'm throwing it in that little ceramic dish. And wipe off this. Wipe it on my Stampin' pants to dry it. Now this one I know I want that way, and I also want to put it down here again. About to forget. And ink that up. Slide that underneath. There we go. That looks good. Ink that up. One more time. Oops, I moved it. It has just a shadow now because I touched it. Oh well. I'm not redoing that. I'm sorry. I am not redoing that. I kind of like the look anyway. All right, so here we go. I'm going to clean this off. And one little mistake makes it all, oh goodness. All right, so let's see. That's it for stamping. So we're going to put this away along with our scratch paper and our ink pads and our stamps. I'm missing a stamp. Where's this one? Okay. All right. Now we're going to do some die cutting. Where are you? Die cutting. This right here. We need to cut it with our pumpkin die from our detailed pumpkin dies. And it's this one right here. There's some cute dies with this set. And I'm going to use my removable Scotch tape. Hopefully I'm going to get that right. I'm going to bring in my big one since this is a big piece. Normally I like to use my little mini, but that's a bigger piece of cardstock, so I'll use my big guy. 1 plate, 2 plate, 3 plate, and then the next one is 3. It seems like it should be 4, but it's 3. I'm just going to run that through real quick. It's sticking. Static electricity. All right, so we have now this. We'll put our Whoops, put our die away before I drop it and lose it. And it goes there. Are you ready to put our card together? All right. I'm really kind of bummed about this. I may just put it in lightly so that I can remove it and do another one later off camera. Because oh, you know, we've got some more die cutting. Oh, yeah, we got our leaves. We got our little leaves. So this I can use my mini for. I'll pull out my little mini for this one. And with the mini, you use a 1 plate and a 2 plate and a 2 plate. And we're going to use our leaf dies. There's 3 of them. There's 1, 2, and 3. So we need to cut out 3 of those of the So Saffron and 3 in the Bumblebee. I'm going to feed that through. Hold it down. Hopefully won't mess up my paper. And if they don't want to come out, you can get your little, take your pick tool and poke them out. That usually works pretty well. And if they stick to your thing, you can also use take your pick tool for that. So we got 3 So Saffron. Now we need 3 of the Bumblebee. Now, I hope that you enjoy getting a free class kit with your purchase, because I think it's a good thing when you have, or you already have projects lined up that you can do with your bundle when you purchase it. And sometimes that's all you need, is just a little jump start to give you some ideas of some things you can do with a stamp set and dies. How to use them. Different ways to use them, and it's free with a qualifying purchase. So if you for just about every bundle except a bundle that includes a punch, you can earn a free card kit from me, or class kit. It's not always cards, but usually it's cards, and it gives you a jump start on using your new bundle that you order. Okay, that's it. Put our little mini away and our dies back. I'm not really sure which ones went where. I'm just gonna put them back where I think they'll fit. There. Okay, so this is our front, and this is our card that we're going to mimic. Let's go ahead and put our inside in, even though I know I'm going to replace that. I'm only going to put it in lightly because I know I'm going to rip it out later and redo it, because I did mess that up a little bit. But you can see it just has a little bit of a shadow where I touched it. Okay, and then what is next? Let's get our labels back out here. We might as well just get everything, even our little jewels. Now these are 2 large, clear, wonderful gems. They're the clear ones, the wonderful gems. So we have this. Find out which side looks the best, and then we have this. Now this was die cut with actually this is crushed curry. Why I used crushed curry on this and Bumblebee on the other part, I don't know. Maybe the crushed curry was a little brighter, but Yeah, it looks like I did. Okay, well, it's crushed curry, but if you use Bumblebee, it will still look fine. Now this is going to go on with some Stampin' Seal. This top part, so it is, see this like little hump part? That's going to go at the top about 1/8 of an inch from the top of the DSP. And then you're just going to center it. So it's just about 1/8 of an inch on each side, top and sides. I'm trying to get it even there. It's a little tricky. Taking my time. There. Then this is going to go down here. We want to make sure that we have room for this. So maybe I'll put this on first, just so I can fit it on there. And I'm not sure if I should have put it in the corners or what, but it is what it is. Oh, I just dropped it on the floor. Luckily, it landed glue side up on my carpet. Okay, so here we go. Make sure that's looking level and even. And it is. So now, should I put that on with glue, or I think I will, because some things are easy to get on with and some things are a little bit more exact, and we want to have some wiggle room when it's exact. Because something off center can really make your card look wonky. So give that a second to dry. So pretty. Now our little pretty pumpkin is going to go not quite exactly in the center, but a little bit up, because you're going to need room for these. So you want it just enough so that you can have your leaves. And if you want to put a little there to get an idea where you need to put it, that's going to go on with, what do we call it? The mini Stampin' Dimensionals. Do I have some here? Oh goodness. Okay, so I just got another another pack, and I did something the other day that, let me see if I can do it now. Nope, I can't do it because there's not enough holes. Once I get, there we go. Once I get it started, okay, and then when I get all of those there, the ones that didn't have the little thing come off, I just take them off. Okay, so remember we need our leaves, so I'm thinking my pumpkin needs to be about right here. Alrighty, so you can see it's not quite in the center, it's just a little bit above to make room for our leaves down here. Now our leaves are in specific sizes and colors to fit them all on there and look good. And you can see there's a little like place here. It's almost like a groove that is specifically for going, like I'm putting the pumpkin inside that groove. So these all have like grooves. So the way it's going to go is we're going to have the big crushed curry, then this one in So Saffron, then this one in So Saffron, then this one in crushed curry, and this one in So Saffron, and then this one in crushed curry. So that's how I have them lined up. So I'm going to start in the center and work my way out, so that way I have room. Now I need my glue dots. What did I do with them? So I'm going to put my glue dot here at the bottom, right here, the bottom, and then I'm going to drop it, and then I'm going to pick it up, and I'm just going to put it right there. You see how the split, I put the pumpkin in the split. Okay, so then the next one is this one. I'm going to put my glue dot down here. Come on, twist it off if you have to. So the glue dot is on this side here, and this is going to go down underneath. And those glue dots are sticky, aren't they? It is loving to stick to my finger. Okay, so now I have that one. It's not quite over as far as I'd like. I don't know if I can bring it over more. Without shoving it down. Okay, that's just going to have to work. Okay, so now this one, glue dot's going to go the bottom. And again, in between that groove, I'm going to put my pumpkin there. So there's my leaf for that. Now I'm going to do this side. So there's this one. The glue dot's going to go on the left, the right, whoops. I have to twist that off. It's on the right side. It's going to go there. Then then the big one, the big So Saffron. Now this may not seem like it's such a big deal to you, but if you do it the way I'm telling you, then it'll look right, and they'll all fit on there perfectly. And then lastly is this one. So if it's too much detail, I'm sorry. It's for your own good. And then lastly, let's just stick that one right there. And there's our leaves. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Last couple things we got to do, but our clear, wonderful gems. Use those a lot, this catalog, so I hope they carry them over. And then right here, I have little gold speckles in them, which really helps bring out, it really matches the color of the card. And then lastly is this, and I know this is not your favorite part. So normally I would have you do this and then fold over, but I realized with this twine, it is not as easy to work with. So what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you make a loop. Not a big one because it's a small bow. And you're going to bring this around the front, around the back, and then push it, put it through. So I'll do that again. So you have this, and then this tail you're going to bring around the back, front, around the back, and you see this little loop that you just made? When you bring it around the back, you're going to push it through and pull. And it may be a little tricky to bring it to the right size, but just keep working it. Pulling and pulling and pulling. And if you hold both sides of this, both ends, and then of the bow part and pull. And that goes there. This side's a little bit bigger. Okay. And then you're going to put that on with the glue dot. Now, I don't know if you know how to roll a glue dot, but you basically take it and you roll it. You can roll it with your fingers sometimes, but you don't want to get it too you know, you don't want to use your finger too much, because then you take the sticky off, the oil from your finger does. So once you get it rolled, you're going to put it on the back of your bow, and then you're going to put your bow here like that. And if there's excess, you can just stick it under the knot. And then trim this about the same length as where your the end of your loop, like so. All right, guys, that's project 3. Okay, so thanks for watching me and joining with me, and then we'll be doing project number 4. All right, thanks for watching.